Well, Kelly, if you're able to hear us, we want to come back to you now that we've kind of broken down some of the how the governor's race is shaping up. And I want to kind of talk about attack ads. You'd spent a lot of time studying campaign messaging and the attacks that are behind them. But we thought it was interesting that we really didn't see a lot of attack ads in the Republican gubernatorial race here in Iowa until these last final few weeks. What's your take on that?
It's not all that surprising. Generally, in a primary race, you don't want to have a lot of attack ads because as a party, you want to be able to coalesce around whoever the winner is. So, from a from the perspective of the party, it's not great to have your candidates a lot of attack ads against each other, especially if they are are really good, right? So you're more likely to see positive ads highlighting key issues or making comparisons, making electability claims. And that's probably the one area where you would see um, some attack ads in a primary or on whether a candidate can win a general election. Um, I expect that we will start seeing many, many attack ads in the near future. And those negative ads, while folks tend to not like them, attack ads generally contain some useful information about how candidates have voted, what issues they've supported, that sort of thing. So we'll see more. The ones I'd say I always want to tell students or members of the audience that it's good to pay attention not just to what the ads say, but who's paying for those ads. I think you both mentioned that there would be a lot of PAC money. There will be a lot of external people running ads, and those are ads that candidates don't have control over. And there's sometimes less accountability about what those ads can say. So I always tell people fact checked, go do some searches. And I'll also say don't just rely on the AI summary of candidates. I've been playing with that a little bit and it tends to pull the information from candidates' websites. So believe it or not, it tells you what they want you to hear. And that's one source of information, but I encourage folks to really try to fact check and dig into different sources when they hear those attack ads from either side just to figure out what is factual, maybe what's stretching the truth a little bit, and what matters to an individual voter.
And I kind of want to look ahead and maybe shift gears a little bit to maybe from Rob Sand's perspective, who is, of course, running uncontested in the Democratic primary for Iowa's governor. From his perspective, what do you think he has seen in this race when it's kind of coming down to Lane versus Feenstra? What do you make of a race of Sand versus Feenstra or Sand versus Lane? And how do you think Rob Sand is, what do you think he's wanting to see kind of come out of tonight?
I think that's a good question. I'm not sure that it changes Sand's campaign strategy either way. I think that my guess is they have some internal polling as well and wouldn't be too surprised with either outcome. I wonder if Lane might be a better, if Sand would prefer Lane in that he doesn't have the record uh, in Iowa and there's these kind of connections of him being a new candidate, what state does he live in, things like that that can provide opportunity for attack and for differentiation between the candidates. So that certainly could be a benefit. I imagine Sand's campaign is sitting there waiting for, they've probably got press releases ready for either outcome. But I don't think it's going to change too much given that Feenstra and Lane seem to have aligned themselves pretty strongly with President Trump and with his policies, with his economic policies. And so I think you'll see some of that. I'll say, though, that I feel like Lane's ads have been, and not unusual for a primary, but Lane's ads have been very conservative in their messaging and tapped into some of the more national issues, things like immigration. And I am not sure that is the message that's going to win in a general election when we're talking about affordability and kind of the ability to buy groceries for the average Iowan. So I think that Lane's messaging is going to have to shift a little bit to address some of those economic concerns that I don't think he's tackled much in his messaging so far. And I think that's one of Rob Sand's strengths as well, given his history as auditor and kind of accountability and government spending.